At the moment we are shaking our whole body. Yeah.
Absolutely rattles the living dad out of us. G'day everyone, we have left Manning Campground this morning and are now slowly making our way up to Mitchell Falls on the River Road.
Yeah. You can hear that.
It's been an absolute breeze driving for the last 15 minutes. now it's getting rough again. Anyway, so the plan for today is to find a bush camp somewhere off the beaten track, set up camp there, stay for a couple of nights, and then go to, oh my god, and then make our way to Mitchell Falls Base Camp. Can't remember the name of it, but there is basically a campsite at Mitchell Falls, and there is one just on the turn up through Mitchell Falls on the road. Oh my god. Gotta slow down on this one.
Yeah.
Right when we thought it was good and we made good progress, it absolutely rattles the living dad out of us. Yeah, so as you can hear, the corrugation is super bad in places. Then they've got these, yeah, you can hear it now, there's these bits that are super bad and you just gotta take it slow. Oh my god, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it's super bad when you're in here. So what we're doing is we're just taking it really slow through those really rough bits. Even though I'm now doing 20 k's an hour. This is 20 k's an hour.
We've been stopping our car for every hour we drive on the road to make sure that check everything okay, you not lose some part of it, and make sure you can rest your car engine as well. It's not too hot.
He's probably talking about the shocks. So the shockies, they have a lot of work to do with this corrugation.
Yeah.
And if you overheat the shockies, the seal bursts and then they're not good anymore. The same goes for the tyre. You really want to make sure your tyre temperature is not too hot, otherwise you delaminate your tyres and then not so good.
Yeah.
So we'll stop every hour, give everything a bit of a rest, time to cool down, and then we'll go on.
Yeah.
It is slowing down now a bit, but hopefully we're getting to a turn off to a potential campsite, which is something that I marked out on Google Maps where there could be a way to a good location. Sometimes these locations turn out to be nothing, sometimes they turn out to be really good. Something's not right. So we're about 2.5 kilometres away from the river. I'm really hoping we find a good spot there. Yeah, look, don't ask me how we got here, but it's a beautiful spot. There's no sign, by the way, that said no entry or anything like that, so it should be alright. We'll just drive in and have a look, you know. Location that we thought there was a campground. It was a nice area. It had flowing water, but it wasn't suitable for camping. It was just
rocky and the floor is not.
The ground wasn't very flat.
And the camper can't drive through.
Yeah, so we actually decided to go back to Drysdale station and probably stay there for a few nights and see what that's like before we head on.
Yeah.
So here we have our first bit of carnage. That's the shockies from the camper. And that here is the bush that normally lives in here. And they're all worn out and they're all busted. The screws are still alright, but this is not taking us much further. That will soon break out, and it's already shaved a bit in here, so yeah, and it looks like they've all had it, so I will need 8 of these bushes. Bummer. So yeah, I had a chat with the guy here at Drysdale Station. They do have a little workshop out the back there, but they got no mechanic. They got no one who knows anything about mechanical parts here. No, does the caretaker know what he's got and what not, so very little chance to replace his bushings over here at the station. All I can do for now is put a bit of grease in here, grease all these things up, and then head to the next town, try to get them replaced. Fortunately, that means we can't go any further on the Gibb. The road up to Mitchell Falls apparently is even worse than the one we came in, and the one we came in on was really, really bad. So what would happen is these little bolts here will wear off, snap, and I'll lose my shocks, and then we'll be down to a crawl speed, so I don't want to risk that. So I've had a little bit of an idea. As you can see, this rubber bush inside here is gone. It's had it. It's absolutely shredded to bits from the corrugation. Now, if I don't have a bush in there, what will happen is this will constantly go like this, and it will eventually break either the bolt or the shock. So we've got to do something to dampen this. And I had this little idea. Not sure if it's going to work, but I'll definitely give it a go. What I've got here is a bit of heat shrink. I'm going to try to get this heat shrink and wrap it around a few times. Now this ain't going to be a superb fix, but it will dampen the effect of the impact a little bit, I hope. If I just get that around here a few times and then I heat it up, that will bring it tight enough, I hope anyway, to stay on there. So the width is almost there. Might work. I've just done. I'll do the same with the other one, and then we'll see how we go. Alright, now that's us for Drysdale campground. We're packing up, we're heading towards Kununurra, back down the Ellenbrae Road. Unfortunately, the problems with the shocks, it's just too risky to take the camper trailer up there, and we didn't want to leave the camper trailer here either, so we're just going to make the call and go back. It's Kununurra basically, and then we'll find a free campsite along the way for tonight where we're going to set our base camp and then explore from that area on. So I'll see you on the road. We're on the Ellenbrae Road back south, and the irrigation is just terrible again. So I've got a little question for you guys. I've seen heaps of caravans just flying past me. In a couple of camps I met some people who reckon that you need to go fast over the corrugations in order for your tyres to skip the dips, I suppose. I think that theory is wrong, because when I look at the cars driving by at a high speed, it doesn't look like the tyres are skipping the dips. They're not riding the ridges of the corrugation. Their tyres are just going absolutely berserk. Now, you might not feel that in the car because your car is so heavy it can't respond fast enough to the corrugation. So you might get a false sense there that you're thinking, okay, you know, it's a smoother ride. But it doesn't mean your suspension and your tyres have a better time. So my theory is the faster you go, the more wear and tear, the more heat you're going to produce on your shocks, on your bushes, on all your mechanical parts on the suspension, and the more tear or the more damage you could cause. Now, in the description below, give me your comment, give me your idea of what you think. You might have some proof there, you might have a link or something that would give us some sort of indication what's better, slow or fast. What's your point of view? We just arrived at Ellenbrae Station. We could not find a bush camp anywhere between the intersection and Ellenbrae. There were a few ones we had a look at, but there was no running water. It was pretty dry and barren.
And then got bushfire left over.
Yeah, so there's a bushfire going through. Everything was burned out.
So dry, burned, black and hot. So
anyway, we ended up at Ellenbrae Station now. We're going to go for the world famous scones. We're going to try them.
That's a beautiful place here. All the green flower everywhere. Look out. Flower. Tree. Wow. The spot. Beautiful. Scone. And the fern too.
Testing the world famous scone on the Gibb River Road. They're big. Good.
They're huge. And I got iced coffee frappe.
Cream. Some jam on top of that. That looks good. Taste it.
Can I bite?
No.
Please. One bite?
No.
One bite?
They are good.
One bite. Oh. Alright, I have to turn off the camera now and pinch his scone.
Found a superb campsite on the side of the road here, right next to the Han River. It is not flowing anymore from what I can tell at the moment, but it is still holding a lot of water and it's beautiful views up here. Check this out, awesome. And the sun will set over there, that will make a beautiful sunset tonight. It is a free camp. It is also on Vicky Camps. If you have a look, it's called Top of the World. I can highly recommend this spot. There is a track that goes down this river all the way down there. I'll show you a bit of aerial footage in a second. And there is heaps of little bay areas like this where you can set up. This spot is beautiful, isn't it, Jenny?
Yeah, I love it. So good.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the croc situation down there. I'm pretty sure there is some crocs in there. We're going to suss it out tonight. I don't think there's any salties in there. There'll be a few freshies, that'll be fine. Enough to get our water supplies from that river and maybe do a bit of fishing later on. How cool is it? We're having breakfast and these guys are having breakfast as well. These are the local white corallas. I have no idea what they are looking for in that sand, but damn, it must be delicious. Today I'm taking you on a little adventure up the Han River. I've decided to explore further downstream and I found some interesting features on Google Maps, so I'm going to suss them out. It's a bit of a distance away. It's about 7 or 8 kilometers as the crow flies from our camp, so I expect to be walking a fair bit today, but hopefully the location will reward me for those efforts. Along the way I'll probably be encountering some stunning scenery, so I'll be stoked to show you all this. Already at the start of this, it's beautiful. Check this out. Look at this. I went up here a couple of days ago ready to have a look and it was just stunning. The further you walked, the more picturesque it got. So yeah, really stoked to do this track today. Jenny stays in camp. I'm just going to go off on my own and show you all these places here. Check this out, here's another one. Pretty hard going on this soft sand. The good thing is there's water everywhere, so I don't really have to worry about water. I do have 4 litres water with me just in case. I brought a water filter too. So no issues on the water side, just the heat and the slow going of the sand. So I am sticking to the riverbed just for ease of navigation. I think I've only just managed a kilometre or so. Yeah, early in the day. Let's see how we go. There are these huge pools of water down there. Now I expect they'll probably be holding water all through the dry season, although the water is receding. I can see it in a few spots. We've been here for about a week now And there's a couple of little pools that were there before and they're almost dry now. But I reckon that deep pool over there will hold water. It's long, it's pretty long. Check this out. I found these round circles everywhere in the water and I had no idea what it was. Didn't want to get into the water though. Now I found one on the outside. Look at this. Now, has anyone got an idea of what they are? They look like rock or some sort of sediment that's fossilized. It actually looks like dinosaur poo. It's really weird. And there's a few of them around here. Looks like a bit of pool, doesn't it? But it's rock. Anyway, if anyone knows what that is, please link it in the comment. It seems to be like old bedrock down here. There's all these weird indentations in the rock though. See that here? Ow. They're almost perfect circles. I don't know what they are, but it looks strange. There's another one there. Another one here. I don't know if they have something to do with these round discs that are flying around here everywhere. I don't know. Like I said, if you have any clue, please drop a comment down below and let me know. I'm quite curious what that is. Anyway, I've got another 2.5 kilometers or so to go. Just going to follow the riverbed for now. It's not too hard going. Travelling our bush, one of the most important skills to have is to know where you are or where you're going. Now if you don't have a GPS or anything like that, you're lost in the bush somewhere. Most people wear a watch. It's actually very easy to determine where north is by just looking at the sun and your watch. All you got to do in the southern hemisphere, that is, see the sun up there, point to 12 o'clock to the sun and then divide up the distance between the small finger and 12 o'clock. In this case it is now almost 10 o'clock, so between 10 and 12 is 11 and 11 o'clock is north. So I always check my watch just to make sure I'm traveling in the wrong direction. I don't need to pull out a compass or anything fancy like that. If I just want to know roughly in which direction I'm going, just look at my watch and yep, there's north right there. And I know I'm heading due north on this river. So I'm on the right track here, or at least in the right direction. Now, following riverbeds can be quite confusing, especially if they're big ones. I've had it before where I followed riverbeds and I accidentally took the wrong arm and I was walking up the wrong way. Oh, there's Jenny on the walkie-talkie, checking in with me. Now always carry some means of communication with me as well, and I have redundancy. There's no phone reception anywhere out here, and by far I'm the only person for miles now, so it's always good to have a bit of either communication.
2-3, Alpha, check.
Jetty, I'll read you loud and clearly.
Yes, good responding.
There you go. I'll keep going. I'm almost at my destination now. Roger, talk later. Bye.
Yes, very clear from here.
Yeah, so communication is a quite important safety measure when you're travelling out back. I do have a satellite phone as well. If I go really remote, I could utilise that. Other than that, I'll carry a PLB, one of the great inventions of our time, a little personal locator beacon, PLB short. They emit a signal to a satellite and a distress signal. Let's say I'd get bitten by a brown snake or something that I wouldn't survive unless I get treatment. I'll activate this PLB. The signal will get sent to the satellite, and from there on to the closest emergency services, and they'll know exactly where my location is and can dispatch a helicopter or emergency services if need be. I normally also carry a GPS and a phone. So phone for use as GPS and a normal GPS just as a redundancy. Since I'm traveling, well, I'm walking along the riverbed, I know pretty well where I am, so I'm only carrying a phone for today. I've got some maps, Google Earth images loaded onto that phone so I can pinpoint the location that I wanted to go. Other than that, all I carry today is my camera gear, a couple of snacks, a little knife and water. And again, with water I have my redundancies. I have a bladder on the back, and I also have a 1 litre emergency bottle and a little water filter that can purify water. Can never be safe enough, even though I'm only going 7 kilometres. But who knows, after 7 kilometres I might find another spot, and I keep on going and keep on going. And then I could run into trouble. Right, I managed to get to the point I wanted to go, and it's a bittersweet surprise, so have a look for yourself. I expected a waterfall. I think I'm a bit too late in the season. Nevertheless, this would be an epic spot if the water would be flowing. Check it out. The water would come off of these rocks here and cascade down. Now you can only imagine how cool of a spot this would be. There's still water down there, but unfortunately, yeah, it's not flowing. Bummer. Just imagine, man, those little waterfalls that you'd have here. This would be a magical spot. I'm surprised that it's on no map or anything. Now, we are in late August, I think now, so I reckon maybe a month ago this would have been still flowing. Yeah, it is a bit of a walk from the campsite, I must admit, but I reckon it would be well worth the effort to come here. Have this place all to yourself. Check it out. get some firewood and restock our water supply, so follow me. Right, let's go. Alright, we come down to the stream here and just going to get some water, and I'll show you a cool little gadget that I got. Water bladder. It can hold up to 250 litres, weighs almost nothing. Perfect thing to have when you're going camping for a long time and you're far away from water sources. This thing I've used a few times when I was in Gibb River Bay and there was no water supply anywhere close. You had to drive about half an hour till you get to the first bore. So filling this up with 250 litre was superb for having showers and things like that. I use it for not 100% clean water but not super dirty water. So I'll just fill this up with my homemade little 12-volt pump and then take that back to camp. Alright, so a bit of fun with my homemade 12-volt pump again. Beautiful, this thing. I'll show you how it works. One very important thing with these bladders is put them in the car first before you fill them up. 250 litres of water means 250 kilos of weight. The first time I did this, I filled it up on the ground and then I couldn't actually lift it back in the car. So I had to drain all the water again and put it back in. Anyway, we won't do this problem again. We will now fill up the water tank. So what I've got here is a little 12-volt water pump, which I made by myself out of a little first aid box. And all that is, you can't see underneath there, is a 12-volt water pump. And it connects to this little Anderson plug here. Normally I'll run this off the car, but then I would have to remember to bring the cable, the Anderson cable, which I didn't, so we're gonna have to use a little different system. Plug this in. Here is my little portable simple battery box with a solar charger inside. So I can charge this up with the solar panel as well. But I can utilize this little battery here, which is a 12-volt battery. And just whack this in here, connect the terminals up. Alright, and oil the pump. Yep. There you go.
Yay!
Now this pump does about, I think, 8 litres per minute.
Oh.
So it takes a couple of minutes to fill this bag up. We're not going to fill it all the way, but at least we get enough in here.
For washing.
For washing and a few showers.
Yep.
So what I'm doing now is I'm connecting an inline water filter to the same system we had running before, and that just cleans our water through pretty much drinking capabilities. So I use these 5-litre tanks, and these are our drinking water tanks. Turn the pump back on and I'll fill it up with drinking water. The reason I don't use the filter for the whole bag there is I don't want to clog up my filter too much. For showering, it's not really necessary to have that clean of the water. Plus, it minimises the flow rate a little bit. Not by much, but it does minimise it. So we tend to use this filter only for water that we use either for cooking or for drinking.
Boy toys come out from the box. Warm up, warm up. One out of few.
Anything that we didn't forget today? Best thing about hard work is the reward. Yes.
Life is tough.
Alright guys, that's it. We're going to wrap up this evening with the sunset and a couple of coldies. I see you guys on the next campsite at the Pentecost.
Yeah.
We're going.